Thank you. My mouth is watering because it's a delicious breakfast and you can make it ahead of time. And Annabelle Lytle-Rich from Shelburn Falls Coffee Roasters, you're going to show us how to make easy granola, and then later in the show we're going to turn it into a parfait.
Yes, exactly. So an easy granola is something obviously you can make easily at home. That's the point. And it's pretty simple. So you want to have a base. I like to use oats as a base.
Now, there's steel cut, there's quick cook, there's so many different kinds. What do you prefer?
I like to use steel cut oats.
Okay.
So we have steel cut oats. And then I like to always have some sort of crunchy nut. So I like to use almonds, but walnuts or pecans would also work. I like there to be a fruit component in the actual granola. Then I usually add fruit afterwards, but I really like craisins. Some people, raisins, dried cranberries are great.
But a dried fruit
But a dried fruit of some sort, just to kind of give it that brightness right away. And also means you can grab the granola and go, and you don't have to worry about adding that nice fruitiness to it.
Recently in the grocery stores, granola's gotten crazy expensive. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Granola has gotten crazy expensive.
Yeah.
I've definitely noticed that because I go around and I look and I see what everyone's doing. And so, it's crazy how expensive granola's gotten. But food costs have gone up.
That's true, too.
So what are you going to do?
So you can make your own, though, for probably pennies on the dollar. So do we
So
start dumping? Is that the situation?
Yeah, we start dumping. And then I also put in Rice Krispie treat. Not Rice Krispie treats. That would be delicious,
That
too.
would
But
be
Rice
amazing.
Krispies. So, we just dump it all together.
The Rice Krispies, any reason? Just because they're delicious in there?
It just adds that nice
crunch?
pop and crunch in your mouth.
And
they're easy and they're inexpensive.
Okay.
So your cranberries in, some coconut.
Is there anything you shouldn't put in? It seems like we're kind of an anything goes.
Yeah, I mean, basically anything goes. Putting chocolate chips in is really great.
Yes.
You can put Reese's peanut butter, like little mini Reese's peanut butter cups in. Then it's kind of a dessert granola.
A little bit less healthy, yeah.
A little bit less healthy. Maybe something to put on ice cream and make your ice cream seem healthier.
But this is a great way to start the day because the oats really fill you up and keep you filled throughout the day for the most part. And then all these other things, the
you
nuts
get some
are
great protein from the nuts. So you want to put in all your dry ingredients, and then you're going to add in. You're going to whisk together your wetter ingredients.
Okay.
So you've got some oil.
It's vegetable oil, canola
oil. You want to steer away from olive because the taste is a little bit too strong.
That's true. It'll taint the taste.
Then you just put in a little bit of vanilla.
All right.
And you put in, I like to use pure maple syrup, especially being in New England.
We have a lot of time to get it.
Yeah. But you can also use brown sugar, you can use honey, you can use all different types of sweeteners. You can use molasses is a really popular one, especially around the holiday season, but we're just coming out of sugaring season, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's plentiful right now.
Maple syrup.
Whenever I make granola, is that it never sticks together. It's always just pieces and pieces apart. How do you make it stick?
You can put a little bit of flour in, and that kind of helps it congeal, or some egg. This granola is not a sticky granola.
Yeah.
But that's the way that you kind of achieve that.
So like a binder, like a flour or an egg,
flour, some egg, and that'll kind of bind it together.
What about some applesauce? Could you do that too?
I haven't tried applesauce.
All right.
But maybe.
We'll try it sometime.
So then you're going to pour this into your mixture. You're going to mix it all together.
All right.
Make sure everything's coated.
And now
you're going to want it to crisp up as it bakes. So you want to make sure everything's coated.
And then when we're baking it, we're putting it on a flat sheet, is that right? So
you're going to put it on a flat cookie sheet. You're going to bake it at 350 degrees for 35 to 45 minutes.
What's it going to look like when it's done? I mean, obviously it's going to look a little bit like this.
Yep, so it's going to look like basically exactly like this. So you can see this is a crumbly granola. It's not something that sticks together. There are several different types of styles, but this one is great to use in parfaits. Because it's easy to, and which we'll go through later.
I was going to say, we're going to do parfaits a little bit later, but what is it? It's pretty much like a stacked, delicious breakfast treat?
Yes, exactly. It's basically, it's layering granola, yogurt, and then seasonal fruit.
So moral of the story, we put this on the cookie sheet at 350.
Yep.
And we need to thin it out so that it's not chunky.
Exactly. You want to have a nice thin layer so that it's really going to get crispy all the way through.
All right. And then we top with, I see, is there cinnamon over there we can top it with?
Yes, and so we can put a little bit of cinnamon in right before we put it into the oven.
Very cool.
So I kind of sprinkle the cinnamon on and then mix it.
All right, so we're going to toss this in the oven, and then later in the show, don't go anywhere, because we're going to turn this into a delicious parfait. We're back in the kitchen with Annabelle Lytle-Rich from Shelburn Falls Coffee Roaster. Earlier, we made granola. If you missed it, the recipe's on mymassappeal.com. But now, we're going to turn this granola into a parfait.
Yes. So a parfait is basically, we're going to layer some yogurt, the granola, and some fresh fruit together to make kind of a morning breakfast treat.
And this
that's
is a
still
classy
healthy.
way to do it too,
Yes.
because you can just dump them all in a bowl.
Yeah, and mix it together, and then
Yeah.
it's like a glorified cereal. No, this is a classy breakfast.
classy.
You can roll this out at your brunches.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
If you're having a sad week and you need a pick-me-up and you want to have a classy breakfast, this is a great way to
Right?
go. And I always try to make my parfaits in clear
of course.
vessels of...
Presentation is everything.
Presentation's everything. And in our stores, we always do them in the plastic cups so people can see how pretty they are.
You got to. All right,
Yep.
let's do it. Let's see if I
All
can
right.
make mine look as good as this one.
Oh yeah, I think you're up to the challenge.
Let's
All
hope so.
So I used vanilla yogurt.
Okay.
I like kind of having that little bit of sweetness to it, but it's great to use strawberry yogurt. Using Greek yogurt is great. You kind of get some extra protein
That's
that
true.
way. But today we are using vanilla.
Well, all in all, too, looking at the ingredients in here, very healthy, but
Mm-hmm.
it's packed with everything that you really need to start a day. It's almost like an ideal concoction in here.
Yes. I mean, like we said earlier with the granola, you have the oats are going to fill you up. You've got the nuts, which are really going to give you some extra protein. And then when you add that in with the fresh fruit and yogurt, especially if you use Greek yogurt, you're really going to have a pretty great breakfast.
Well-balanced breakfast. So
Right.
do we start with a layer of yogurt?
Start with the layer of yogurt. Now, something that people do that can make the yogurt parfait a little bit harder to eat, I would just pour.
Really?
I would just like scoop it right in there.
I'm trying to make it look as pretty as possible. I'm just trying to impress.
Yes.
I want to impress everybody at home.
Is putting all the yogurt on the bottom and then just putting a ton of granola on top. But that can be really hard to mix and to eat. So it's really great to layer it because not only does it look pretty, but it's a lot easier to eat and you can kind of get a great spoonful of everything.
Good idea. Oh, spilled a little bit. It's okay.
That's okay.
There we go. A little of this.
Yeah.
Now layer blueberries in.
I put a little bit of blueberries in.
Oh, this is good stuff.
And again, you can use any type of fruit.
I bet sliced strawberries would really do it for me.
Sliced strawberries are great. Bananas are great in it. If you have the patience to cut up cherries and take the pits out, those
Really?
are
You think
delicious.
so?
Definitely. I mean, basically you could put pineapple in and kind of make it like a pineapple upside down caked parfait.
Oh, yeah. Now, here's my question. A lot of people, they're on the run. But you
Mm-hmm.
can make this granola ahead of time. How long do you think this stays good for?
That can probably, especially if you keep it refrigerated, that can stay good for 2 weeks.
So you can do that, and then you can have your yogurt.
Yeah.
And you can have your fruit all separately, and you can put them together last second. And this is a quick one if you do a little work ahead of time.
Exactly. And you don't want to put the granola into the yogurt too far ahead of time because the granola will get soggy. And then one last thing that I like to do on top of parfaits is sprinkle just a little bit of maple syrup.
Oh, yeah. See, this is good. So this is the classy, easy brunch. Invite the friends over, make something like this. And everybody at home, if you want the recipe, you just have to go to mymassappeal.com. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thanks for having me on
It's
here. It
always
was a pleasure.
seeing you.